Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and answer some of these questions that I've been asked, and just be very candid. Some of these is gonna be the first time I read some of these questions, so bear with me. But here we go. Let me show my screen. All right, so uh, Antoine says, "Blessings, my brother. Wish you the best. I learned a lot from this channel, and you always been an inspiration, man. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. I was inspired by this group as well, and that's why I love to do it. And what can I say, man? You know, all good things must come to an end. You know." The Nico family says, "Hi, Bruce. This is actually sad news. I truly didn't expect it. I'm so happy to see you back through, though, and thank you for opening up to us. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you. Thanks for, those are words that I really need right now because, it wasn't easy. You know what I mean? So, and it's still not easy. It's just something, you just got to move on with your life. Um, Leray Jenkins says, I remember Bruce made a video about how much Yuri meant to him and the impact she had on his life. And then I remember she tried to make a video about Bruce. I felt sad for Bruce after watching her video. I hope he finds someone really committed to the relationship. So, yeah, like we're very close still, Leray. I I don't know what to say. My interpretation of everything that's happened. I mean, I have the benefit of having lived this, and I can say that there's really no hard feelings, man. I had a great life, man. I had some of the best years of my life with her. So, looking back, I don't have regrets. I think it's a win for both of us. To be honest, like I'm on a new path in my life, and so is she, and I don't know, So I really wish her the best. Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Boss Up One says, "Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Prayers to you, Yuri, and your family. I thank you both, both you and Yuri, over the years for all the inspirational videos. Wish you both of you the best always. Thank you so much, Boss Up. I really appreciate the words, kind words." Navi, holy crap, Navi, I didn't even know. That's right. You're on both of my channels. Oh man. Wow. Thank you for posting and sharing this story, Bruce. Good luck for both of you in 2023. Thank you, Navi. Thanks for sticking with me, man, all these years. User says, Bruce, keep pushing. I want to see you putting out things via this channel. I'm interested in your take on the next step forward, man. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this channel. We've been talking about it. To be honest, like she's talking about taking it, and that's fine with me. I don't. I could just start a new one, like if I wanted to. So we'll see. I mean, I might. I've been thinking about just opening up it about everything. Like my just like how I'm gonna move forward and how I've been moving forward and things like that. I've got a lot to say about it, but um, yeah, I'm not sure, but I might do it. Like, I don't know what you guys think. Should I continue doing a channel like where I'm talking about personal stuff? Like, you think it's worth it or something, or what? Just tell me your honest opinion about it. My black tie experience says, "Little bro, I'm sorry to hear about your news. I really enjoyed meeting you both and my last trip to America." That I know who this is. Wow, man. Yeah, that's sad. Wow, this is a good dude right here. He's a retired dude, real smart. He says, that being said, I wish you both the best. Keep your head up, little bro, and keep on pushing. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you for your words. I really appreciate you, man. It was great to meet you too. Um, Easy. He says, I'm sorry to hear about your situation. I still appreciate your wisdom. Um, you provided over the years. I wrote you an email letting you know in November my wife gained her citizenship, and I wish you found newfound happiness going forward, and would like to chat up about cybersecurity as well. Hey, thank you, Sagas. I appreciate that. I did see your emails. Why I decided to do this, because I've been getting emails from people from our community, And I just thought it might be a good idea for me to just say what's going on. Because I remember myself watching other people get a divorce, and I had this connection to them, and then they would just disappear. And I'm like, damn, I would like to know what happened to them. And I didn't want to do that because this community meant something to me. And actually, Yuri, it did to Yuri too. And we talked about doing a video together, but we've been really emotional about it, and I think if we did one together, one of the two of us start crying, because it's really been hard, like I can't explain it, man. Like we have some kind of, we're like twin flames, man. I swear, like I can't I can't explain like how close we are, even now. Like there's an argument to that we are more close now than we were then. And I'd have to explain that to you, but it's breaking up made me realize how close we actually are. And we're still close. So that being said, I wish her the best. I'm in a great place in my life. It took a while for me to get to like accept it and keep going, but thank you, Sagas. Thank you for your message, and you're the reason why I decided to do this. To be honest with you, you and there was the Canadian dude I used to talk to all the time. Is people contact me and say, "Hey, man, what's going on?" I figure I go ahead and do this. Let me see. My man says, Bruce, stay strong and positive. You and Yuri always been an inspiration of what was possible with dating a foreigner or a Filipina. Best of luck, both of you. Do you think living in the Philippines would have saved your marriage? Excellent advice on living life, Bruce. Hoping you the best in 2023. No, that is a great question, STE. No, I don't think it would have saved us being in. I don't think there's a place that would have saved us. You know what I mean? And I don't think that, like a lot of people said, man, don't bring your wife to don't bring her from the Philippines to the U.S. because they're going to be Americanized and all that. That narrative doesn't fit with my situation. I'm being completely honest. Like it'll be easy for me to make some kind of huge following saying, oh, don't date Filipinas, don't date outside the country, don't do this, don't do that. I'm a passport bro. Make sure you don't do this. Like I could get followers doing that. But I think that's, for me personally, it's nonsense. It doesn't fit my life. So it wouldn't have helped me if I would have lived in Europe. It wouldn't help me if I lived in Philippines or Thailand. There's certain things that had to have happened that if I could go back, if we could have changed certain things. If I'm being completely honest, we were working too much. Like we had 2 or 3 businesses. We both had jobs. There was too much going on, and we ended up growing apart. I think if that one thing, if we could have changed that could have helped us out a lot looking back. And then also the situation with my ex-wife. If those 2 things, those 2 factors like destroyed it corrupted our relationship. And if there's any advice I could take from what happened to me is that spend more time with your partner, give them that quality time. Don't neglect that, and the grass is not greener on the other side. If you're thinking, oh man, once I move and maybe I'll get somebody in Thailand, maybe I'll move to Ghana, I'll get some girl in Ghana. Like the grass is not greener, man. Like if you have somebody good, man, do whatever it takes to keep it. It, for me personally, wasn't a place that was going to fix it. It was the situation. You know what I mean? So that's all I have to say about that. Smooth Riff says, first, thank you for all the great videos that you brought us over the years. I feel your pain, brother. You are stronger than most men, Bruce. You sacrificed much and worked hard to get her and build a family together. The reason that we stayed the breakup is BS. The reasons that we stated for the breakup are BS. the reasons that were stated for the breakup were BS. Okay. When you love someone unconditionally, you don't blame. You always weather the storm, and you preserve the thoughts of you go through the ups and downs, and for better or for worse, for good and bad times, and sickness and health. Bruce, you deserve much better, my friend, and I believe that you'll come back stronger than ever. Peace, love, and blessings. and smooth riffs. A lot to unpack there. I agree with. Thank you. First of all, thank you for your positivity. I appreciate that. And I would say that on some, I agree with some of what you're saying. Is that if you have something real, then you're going to weather the storm. You're going to if you're not gonna blame. You're gonna keep going. I would say in our situation, like we just grew apart over the years. There was a situation where we could have got back together, uh, and this is very personal, but there was a situation where we could have got back together, but I realized, we both wanted different things. So we had grown to a point where we both really just wanted something different in our lives, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People grow over time. You can grow together, or you can grow apart, and we unfortunately grew apart. That's what happened, man. And I wouldn't put it. I'm not placing any blame on any one situation or person. Like I'm part of this. Like what happened between us was something that both of us we it was almost out of our control. Like we started to grow apart over time, and to be honest with you, Smooth, like when we're to, when we're together, like we're so close even now. Like, oh, the best the way I can describe it is it felt like somebody very close to me passed away, and when we're together now, she's a different person. I'm a different person. Like we are different people. We would have to, if something, the only way we could get back together, like, would be to meet each other over again. We are different people. Like it's drastic. You know what I mean? Like she's not this person who I originally met. She's a different person, man. Like, and I'm a different person. So we are different people. We'd have to come somehow. That'd be the only way. Like we'd have to re-meet each other. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's people change. The only constant in life is change, and you can either sit there and I can still sit here and feel sorry for myself about what happened and relive the past, or I can move forward and make my life the best it can be. I choose joy. I choose happiness. I choose to make the best out of the rest of my life, and I choose to want the best for her. And I have no animosity, and I hope she finds a great partner, or I hope she has a great life by herself, or whatever she chooses. I hope it's good for her. Because, and the only reason I'm able to say this and really feel it is because my life is great, and I'm in a great place. I'm happy to have my family, my kids with me. I'm happy to actually have her as a friend, and I consider her part of my family. I'm glad that we were able to move on good terms, and find some kind of love um that's beyond just a piece of paper. So that's how I feel about it, and that's just my honest opinion about it. Coming from the heart. This is not. There's no script. This is the first time I read your message, obviously, since I can barely freaking read. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. MF says, "Best of luck moving forward. Remember that for every ending, there's a new beginning." Absolutely, I totally agree with this, man. Thank you so much, MF, for your words of wisdom. Big Rob, the Dream Maker FX Trading, my man, Big Rob. I met this man in person in North Carolina. Big Rob says, "I'm just now seeing this. This is Big Rob, by the way, and I'm so shocked to hear this. You guys, along with Black Filipino, was my inspiration. Followed you guys since 2017. I really wish this wasn't true. I wish you guys the best, and I hope that you find someone out there that will have the same desire and goals as you. Man, thank you so much, and it was great meeting you in person. I hope one day, if I happen to be over there in North Carolina, we can meet again, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you for the book, man. I read your book. It's awesome. And you were my inspiration too, for me to actually write my first book. Having read yours and just getting out there and doing it. And thank you for your kind words, man. Let me see. Codename Studio says, "Wow, sorry to hear about that. Pray that everything will be good for you and Yuri." Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. See, this is why this community means so much to me. There's so many positive people who I've met over the years, met personally over the years. Derek MD says, I'm on my second marriage after the first one. I wrote down that I want to do, I want, what I want and do not want when, went from there, went from here to find it. If me and my wife break up, I'll take my time off and do the same. Wish both of you the best. Yeah, you know, Derek, I hate to say that I'm on my second, that I had two marriages. I hate to say that. I had this stigma in my mind before I got married years ago that I didn't want to be one of those guys that's married multiple times. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be that guy, and now I'm that guy. And now I'm that guy, man. But that being said, there's still hope. You know, I still have a lot of hope, and I'm moving forward. And and what can I say, man? I really did my best. I don't have regrets. I really did my best, and there's things I wish I could have done better, but overall, you know, it was great, man. It was a great run, and it was some of the best years of my life. So, and we actually, you know, we're still very close. We're still good friends, and because I'm in a good place, I don't have animosity. I don't have anger about it. You know, let me see. Sorry to hear this news. The Mantis says, sorry to hear this news. I really enjoyed y'all's content and learning from it. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. Fred Solomon says, sorry, Bruce. I hope that you and your wife have peace and happiness. Um, we are definitely at peace. I'm definitely at peace with it. I've accepted it, and I'm ready to move on with my life. I feel good about this year. Last year was rough. It was rough, man. Like I want to do a video just how crazy last year was, but um, small groups to go says you'll be back with her once this issue that's blocking the blocking togetherness is figured out. Uh, get this one, get this one fixed, and restoration will come to your house. Lastly, both of you helped me find my Filipino wife, and I'm grateful for that. Since you since you are on good terms, fix your issues. Ask God to help you how to restart your love and relationship, and leave and cleave to Yuri, and forget you have an ex-wife around her. Do everything in your power to cut ties and give Yuri your full attention. I pray for restoration because the power you had to together joined me and my wife. Blessings. Thank you for the positivity. I really appreciate that. Small groups. I think that a part of us never really left. Like you said, hey, I hope you guys get back together. To be honest, like I think part of us, there's a part of us that never, never, there's no breaking up. Like there's a part of us that has this connection that's beyond words on paper. It's beyond cultural acceptance. It's beyond anything I can explain. It's like some kind of bond, some kind of internal bond that I can't. That's of all the crazy spiritual things that's happened in my life, of all the things that have given me proof that there's something more to this world, it's my connection with her. I've had some otherworldly stuff happen before, during, and after my relationship with this woman. I can't explain the connection. All I can say is that it is proof for me that God is real. And there's been good things, bad things, ugly things that's happened, and it's like our life is intertwined, and it's on some stuff I can't even explain. So saying, hey, you know, I wish you guys get back together, and in some way we never really left each other, and that's one of the things I take away from us getting a divorce, is that there's some part of us that'll always be together, and there's some part of us that was never apart. If that's I know that's English um is not going to be able to explain what the connection that we have. It's been deep, man. I didn't know a connection with another human being was possible like that. I didn't know that was possible. And I had it. And I had it. And if you have something like that, and this is not something, I don't think it's like, I think it's something you can build. You can build it. And it's about being vulnerable to another person. And it takes a lot of risk because you can really get your heart broken. You know what I mean? Like it takes a strong heart, because if you're that vulnerable to a person, if you're that open about your weaknesses and your strength, and you trust in this other person, your life is in this person's hands, and their life is in your hands. You start to grow together in a way that that you can trust this person, right? And the thing is, once you're that vulnerable to a person, they're going to let you know who they are immediately, because they're going to use that, whatever it is, against you. And that's not a person that you want to have a whole life with. Um, so this is not the end. This is a new beginning. This is a beginning where I can be closer to her, and this is an opportunity for you guys, like whoever you're with, whoever, anywhere in the world, like whether she's in the U.S., whether she's a fiance, a girlfriend, a wife, whatever the case may be. Like, there's a level of connection that you can have with a person that is beyond your marriage, and I discovered that with Yuri. And it's not an easy place. It's not easy to do. It's not something that uh it's not easy to get there, and it's not easy to go through it once once you have it, and it ends. Part of it ends, and it's a new beginning. That's also difficult, but it's worth having once in your life. If I mean, I'm real. This is not rehearsed. Like, this is not edited. This is like really coming from the heart. So, all right, Lewis says, "Thank you for updating us. Sorry to hear about this." And uh, no one has all the answers to this. Well said. Well said. Keto says, "Sucks to see this, but it it does happen, and I also see friends during certain ages grow into another person while in a relationship or marriage. I was inspired by your channel, and I did see a Filipino girls in the Philippines as a result. In the end, it's best wishes to each other. Good luck." Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Franklin says, Frank Ellis says, "Wow, sorry to hear that, bro. I kind of knew something was up because you guys stopped posting on your channel, and I I had one question for you. Do you guys Would you guys still be together if you'd moved to the Philippines?" I already answered this one, and I would say that no. I don't think that in our case, maybe for somebody else it would be the case, but for me, I would have to say no. Like, it wouldn't. It would being in the Philippines wouldn't have helped us. So when a lot of guys are saying, "Hey, don't bring your girl from Nigeria, don't bring her from Uganda, don't bring her from Thailand, don't bring her here from Philippines, don't bring her here." But I don't subscribe to that. I don't believe in that. I think a person is who they are before you met them. Like, the person that you meet there in that other country, in the Philippines, and wherever, in Arkansas and Illinois, that's the person you got. So I would say, if anything, I'll say look at the signs. Don't ignore the signs. Don't ignore the signs of who that person is, and don't ignore. And this is the same thing I've been saying from the beginning. Don't and give it time. Give yourself time to get to know the person. If you're just getting to know someone, because bringing them from the Philippines to the U.S. is not going to automatically change them one way or the other. They're going to be they're going to reveal who they are over time, and a place, in most cases, is not the factor that's going to. And for me, it wasn't the factor. It was the stuff that we were doing. Both of us were doing the stuff that happened in the relationship was what made us kind of grow apart. So, Dan, the driving man, how you doing, sir? says, "Hey Bruce, been through it, brother. Keep the faith. It's been 12 years now for me, and you'll come through stronger and wiser." Hey, thank you so much, Dan. Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. I appreciate you, sir. Let's keep in touch. Ramon says, "Miss you guys together, but all everyone had to do is wish combo course. All everyone had to do was go to combo courses to see you. We were with someone else." Glad to see you came back to the original channel. Still following. Yeah. It's been a while, Ramon. So I have moved on, and it's we both moved on. Let me just put it to you that way. Robert Morris says, "Happy New Year, brother." Happy New Year to you, sir. Tactical Gaming says, "I'm sorry to hear that happened to you, bud. It's kind of sounds like a Western female nature got into her head. Sounds like she got bored and wanted to move, wanted more than that you couldn't provide. You got this, bud. Focus on you and your goals." I would say tactical. I say it was more than that. This is just this. You'd have to ask her, but I would say it was more than that happened. Like I wouldn't say it was like the Western mentality. She's been who she is. Like she's a very independent person, and that's who I married. Like when we went into this, she was like that. And I personally like that attitude. I like that independent attitude. The thing I don't like in the US that men and women have is the arrogance. That thing I don't like. That's something I can't deal with personally in a relationship. But the independence part, I think that's dope. We learned to be interdependent. I learned to rely on her strengths. She learned to rely on my strengths. We learned to carry each other through thick and thin. I would not say it was what she really didn't have a lot of exposure to a lot of Western women. As a matter of fact, whenever she would meet Western women, like American women, she was kind of like, she'd come back to me and be like, "Yo, like, do you know what my friend said? You know what she said? She said this, that, and this." And she'd be like, "Damn, that's crazy." I can, like we would talk about it a lot. So she doesn't have that attitude. The attitude she has is the attitude like she's been an independent minded person. She's really focused right now on what she wants to do in her life, and I'm happy to be on the sidelines cheering her on to go get it, to do what she wants to do in her life. And life's too short for me to sit here and subscribe to and be pigeonholed into like, oh, Western women are gonna destroy themselves. Like what they do with their lives is their own damn business, in my opinion. Like if they want to do that, in the meantime, I'm doing my thing. I'm gonna stay focused on my goals, just like you said. Okay, let me see. Graham Barnes says, "I can't believe this. I remember watching you guys in your videos. X should have stayed out of the picture. 3 does not work in a relationship. Sadly, some people grow apart over time, and as long as you gave your best, that's all you can do." Yeah, that's right. And I wish I could go back and fix some of the stuff that happened with the ex. There was not My hands were tied, like on certain things, but it definitely did have a factor. There was a lot of stuff that I have not talked about that happened with her that I was going in and out of court. Just kind of give you a summary, like in and out of court about it. Um, it was not. It was difficult, and it was difficult for a long period of time. Thank you for that. Red Wild says, "Been years, Bruce, but I remember you put all your savings into Bitcoin in 2008, hoping you made good out of it." So what I did with my cryptocurrency was I actually was able to buy a bunch of real estate and stuff. So that's helping out quite a bit. Kind of shifted over to real estate, and so that's what I did with some of with that. It was kind of it was good and bad, but I did get something out of it. Let me see. Chad says, "Oh my God, Been wondering where you went. Sorry to hear the news, but if it was for the best, I understand. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Chad. I appreciate your words, man. Sorry, hope things get better. There are plenty more in Asia. Thanks, Ray. I'm sorry to hear what happened to you and Yuri. I actually saw this coming. She never seemed like she was made for marriage, and from the beginning. Why didn't she want kids? I saw a clear message. She was trying to tell you that it was about her, but she didn't want want to use. She didn't want to use you. Go find another woman. Um, I you know that that's something that I wrestled with through this, but so the things that were kind of off camera that you didn't see was that Yuri took care of my kids. Yuri was a great mom. Yuri is the only mother my kids have known. Okay, a couple things. All right, so here's why it's really. Let me just play show you guys the big picture here. Yuri was the only mother that my kids ever knew. Like she was a mother to my kids. When I was down and out, when I had no money, when I was at my worst, Yuri had my back. Um, we felt like our families abandoned us and there was nobody there for us, we were there for each other in a way that I can't. That's hard to tell. That's hard to explain without telling you specific examples. But there were several times in it. We were together for 10 years. That's another thing. We met in 2011. And we had all 2012 together, 2013, 2014, we got married. We were together for 10 years. We were married for 8. Um, in that time frame, I had some of the best years of my life, and I had no idea life could be that great. And for you to say, oh, it was all about her, no. So she sacrificed things in her life she wanted to do so she could take care of me and my kids. And she did that very effectively, so much so that she can come to this house anytime she wants. She's part of our family. And it if it had gone, if I could say what you just said and say, oh, she was all about herself, my kids would not want her here, not neither would I, because that's what happened to my first wife. We don't talk to her for that reason, for the reason you just said. But Yuri's different. So Yuri is invited to our house anytime she's invited. She can come to. We've been having New Year's and Christmas and stuff together. Like she's a part of our life still, and she's a part of our family because of the things she did, because of the sacrifices that she made, and I can't stress that enough. I remember years ago during we had this viral and Yuri got attacked, and it made me sad because Yuri sacrificed so much of herself for people, and then they attacked her, and it's like, yo, like you guys. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna help anybody else with K1 because we helped literally thousands of people, and then the payback was they attacked her. She was literally helping people one on one, and they attacked her. And I'm like, wow, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? So, and that's the same thing here, man. Like there's a lot of stuff that happened that we didn't put on screen, and she was there for me and my kids, and I can't. I'll never be able to pay her back for the things she did do right by me and my kids. So and and that's all I'll say. There's only so much a person can give. That's from me and from her. And my gift to her is like, listen, live your life. I got your back, no matter what you do. And you know what? She said the same thing to me. No matter what you do, whether you have 2 or 3 wives, whether you're on your second, 10th divorce, she said, I got your back no matter what. And I said the same thing to her. I said, listen, you have kids, you go through your life, whatever you do, I got your back. Because she was there for me when there was absolutely no one and I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. And she was there. She stuck through thick and thin stuff. I'm not one of these drama channels that puts their worst times of their kids' life on there. I personally don't do that. Putting most vulnerable times on the channel, but I think if I did, people would understand a little bit better. Let me see. Russell says, Bruce, don't put it on you. It takes two to make a decision. It's good to see you. I support both channels always and stay connected. And I stay connected with her sister. That's good. Whenever you see her, tell her she's beautiful. Will do. Thanks for those kind words. I appreciate you. Let me see. Listen to your heart. Follow your dreams. That's my advice. And take it slowly. Don't rush through things. That's my advice to you. Stay safe in the new year, and you will find someone to be with you. But do your homework and stay well. Happy New Year's. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate you, man. Morpheus says, keep your head up. So sorry. Thank you, sir. Russell says, I think I already read this one. I asked Cecil, but she didn't say anything. I'm sorry to hear that. I think the reason why is because she knew it was private, and we hadn't really told anybody except very close family. Like my mom knew, of course my kids knew, and then her sister and her family knew, and that was it. We didn't tell. I wasn't going on YouTube saying anything. Like it took a year, and then I started kind of opening up about it when people were asking me. But other than that, I mean, I think one or two people contacted me, like Veronica contacted me, and Dave from Canada, and then a couple people contacted me and said, "Hey, what's going on? Like, where are your videos at? What's going on? Are you guys okay?" And I would tell them, "Nah, we broke up," and I was going through it at the time, so I didn't really go too much into detail. But now I feel like I'm in a place where I can. So that's why she didn't say anything. She was just keeping it private because what can we really say about it at that time? Big Trucker Series. Now this dude is from New York. This dude is like 6'6", a giant human being. Now I met him in New York, and him and I were supposed to go on the subway together. So hey, Big Truck Series, man. If I'm ever in New York, I'll hit you up and we got to go on that subway, man. Just tell me what weapons I need to protect myself. It was great meeting you, by the way. Haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah, I've been I just needed time, you know what I mean? Let me see. Real Plain DS says, link to your other channel, please. Just go to, if you're interested, all I do is talk about cybersecurity stuff, combo courses. I might, depending on what happens, I might actually continue to do a channel like this, either this channel or another channel. But here it is right here, just combo courses. That's the channel that I continue to do. Let me see. What's up, Bruce? How you doing, DJ Underground? Oh, this is my man right here. This is my man. Okay. Jay Brown says, women, foreign or domestic, it can go south even under the best of conditions. Amen to that. I can't argue with that statement. It's a scary thought. Yeah, you just gotta. I mean, emotionally, we just gotta be strong emotionally. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, men got the physical strength down, but emotionally, sometimes we're lacking. So it's and that's not. I don't want to downplay it, man. It was hard, but emotionally, we got to be tough. Like that's man up emotionally is what we have to do. Let me see. After you say broke up and laughed, I thought you were joking. Sad to hear. And she used you to climb a level up in her life. No, I know that's going to be the narrative, and let me put it to you like this, and you can make your own decision about it. So Yuri and I are people who go 100% in on everything. And we were able to create several businesses together in the Philippines and in the US. where we were making my salary. And we were about 2 years away from me retiring. Like, it was good. We have properties right now, still currently in the US and in the Philippines. And now I can't get properties without her. Like, there's no way I could have got properties in the Philippines without Yuri. When we broke up, I said, "Look, take the properties in the Philippines, right?" And you might be thinking to yourself, "Bruce, you are a fool. You're an effing fool." That's what I did. I said, "Look, you take the property." She said, "No." We both got them together. Here's what we're gonna do. You take these, I'll take these. You take these, I'll take these. And so that's not the only thing that happened. So we had a business. We had to dissolve a couple of them. The other ones we split them. Like, you take this one. This is really you. You know, all the online courses stuff. You do that. That's all you. This other business we had, I said, you take that one. The real estate. You take this. I'll take this. You know, we separated everything. So we amassed like uh, a pretty good chunk of change together, doing that stuff together. There's no way I could have done that without her in the Philippines. And I have properties in the Philippines. I have properties in the Philippines, and that's because of her and her sister, actually. And so, I mean, for me to sit here and say and play a victim, be like, "Oh, poor, woe is me," she used me, like, that wouldn't be true. And then another thing is, like, my kids, like, she was there for my kids. She's the only mother my kids have ever known. If you have kids, you know how important it is to have somebody solid in your life, emotionally solid, that stays with them, like, is emotionally supportive to your kids. And that's what she did. um I don't know what to say. Like, if people are still thinking that it was like a level up thing and move on, I don't know. I think she could have done it better. If that was the case, I think she could have done something else. You know what I mean? Like, she could have married a dude with more prestige, with more money. I was in severe debt when we met. She could have done a lot better. Now, I know you're thinking, well, you're not giving yourself enough credit and stuff like that. I'm being serious. Like, if you wanted to level up, it wouldn't be getting a guy with a Toyota Corolla, the 10-year-old Toyota Corolla. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be me. Like, there's things she could have done to actually level up. If it was that, if she could have done, if that was what she wanted, it wouldn't have been me. Um, I would say the truth is, we both got lucky. She got lucky by being with a dude who's about to level up, and I got lucky with a person who wanted to level up with me, because I was looking for somebody who wanted to level up with me, and I couldn't find it. The first few people that I tried to hook up with, whether they were in the US or the Philippines or wherever, they weren't they weren't with that. You know what I mean? And not everybody is. It was a huge lesson to me that if I going forward, I'm not looking for nobody who wants like, I want them to just do this and then don't do what I do, because I think that that's what kind of broke us up. The same thing that made us dope together is also the same thing that broke us up. And let me explain. So the thing that made us dope together is that we're both very ambitious. We're both very, very, very ambitious people. I am more ambitious than her by a lot. Um, and I was telling her, "Come on, come on." I was pushing her to be as aggressive as me. And I am aggressive with this. I'm about this life right here, because I'm trying to get out the rat race, if you know what I mean. And so I was pushing hard. So, and I'm not putting all this blame on me, and that's why we got divorced, whatever. But it was a huge lesson for me. Like, I we both are very ambitious people, and we both got lucky in that I got what I want, she got what she wanted, and we both were able to grow together, and we were both able to experience something very special. And I would say that um, one of the lessons, like I said before, is that we didn't a part of us never broke up. A part of us is probably closer than we ever were. And good, bad, or indifferent, that's the way things have panned out. So you like, I can't change your mind about it, but I know the life that I lived has been great. My kids' life is better having met her. It was amazing. Sorry to hear you broke up, but if you have peace of mind and amicably have moved on, God bless. Find yourself a more feminine woman and go back to Asia. Thank you guys for all your comments. It's been a wild ride. 2022 was not easy, and I really appreciate everybody who's commented. I really didn't expect this kind of reception, and you guys are entitled to your own opinions, but I'm telling you, having seen every side of this thing, having lived it, I'm telling you how I see it, and you can take it how you want it. But I'm telling you, my life was better with her in it. And it was great. It was a great time. I learned a lot about my life, and life is super short. Don't let anybody define your perception of reality. Like, this is yours, and you got to tell your own story. Don't get sucked into all of these narratives. It's very easy these days, especially with social media. It's very easy to get sucked into these narratives. But remember, you're not you. There's no one size fits all for you. You have a unique situation, and they can tell you about the statistics, but they can't tell you about who you are. You know, growing up in a real bad environment, the statistic was I was supposed to be either dead or in prison. And that's what they kept telling me all through. Oh, you're supposed to be, like, because I'm a black male. I'm in the hood. I'm with a single mother. Like, I had everything said, like every single category I fit into it. And you know, they can't. People could tell you the statistics and give you some idea of where they think you're gonna go or whatever. And there's a narrative of who you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do. But as an individual, you paint your own picture, you write your own story, and it's up to you. It's up to us to live this life one day at a time, and move forward with what we believe is the best step forward for our own life. And that's what I choose to do. And I don't choose to sit here and blame. It's not going to do me any good to blame anybody. It's not going to do me any good. The best thing I can do is be truthful myself. To thine own self be true. Know myself, and move forward. And I think that's the same for you. Like, know yourself and just move forward, man. And another thing I would say is, if you're on the fence about a relationship, if you are on the fence and you're like, damn, I don't know about this, let me tell you something. It's not greener on the other side, especially if you got a real one with you. If you got somebody who's ride or die with you, like somebody who's real, man, try to work that out. One thing I wish we would have done is go to marriage counseling or something like that. I wish we would have. That's one thing we didn't do. I would say, like, it's not greener on the other side, man. It's not greener, man. I'm telling you. And even if your girl's like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Like, I'm thinking about go to marriage camp, try to work it out, because it's not greener on the other side. Whatever you think is on the other side of your relationship, you got to start over again from scratch with somebody else. And that's not always going to work out. So try to work it out. If you're in this situation, don't break up. Do not break up. Don't do it. It's been very difficult for both of us. And now there's no turning back. There's no turning back now. There's no rewind button. We're different people now. After 1 year, we are different people. We are both moved on, and we have to start over again with someone else. And it's not easy. So that's what happened. I wish you guys the best. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the positive thoughts. And I wish you guys the best and Happy New Year. And if I could do another video on here, I will. Peace.